Greetings and well met, fellow intrepid adventurers of life. Welcome to Legacy of Worlds, Season 3. Where we last left off, our intrepid heroes of the realms were delving through the mists of Ravenloft in search of the mythic sword of Cass, which they are intending to use upon a certain villain who has acquired the hand and eye of Vecna and has been using it to steal the mana and magical power from all the worlds of the material plane. While they have managed to collect a good amount of cards of the Deck of Many Things, which had been infused with that magic and scattered across the realms, without the Sword of Cass, they will not be able to appropriately defeat this enemy. So they have been traversing from Dread Realm to Dread Realm to try to find where it is. They have indeed found the location of the Sword of Cass, but in order to get to it, they will need to go to Castle Aebrynis in the Dread Realm of Darkon, a place so fouled with negative energy that to enter is to become one with entropy. And so they have been told they need to acquire a ritual from a dread necromancer, one from the world of Mystara, who currently exists as the Dark Lord of the Nocturnal Sea. But that is not where we find our intrepid adventurers, for there was something else that they were informed, that there was a different dread realm, known as Imperius, where their quarry, a certain weave breaker that was involved in the whole business at the start, a mana drinker, someone who absorbs magic itself and uses it to break down into destructive energy. Someone from Imaria, the world of Loholtz, one of our adventurers, was sent there. And it was determined that this dread realm could very well be that of not only Imaria, but of the emperor of these weavebreakers in the height of their power, the one who beat Loholt bloody back when he was a youth, and the one who usurped his family's throne and crushed his people beneath their steel boot. And so as they traverse into the mists, the haze envelops, not moist like you would expect a fog, but clinging to the skin, crawling over you like a million small insects seeking food, as one by one you vanish forth into the mists of Ravenloft. You know where you're headed. It was a decision you made to try to head off the Weavebreaker, hoping that you might be able to take him out before he could gather an army, unite more forces, gain greater power, whatever it might be. Instead of heading off towards the direction of your quest, you are arriving here. The only thing you know about this Weavebreaker is that he has been traveling around the realms, bouncing back and forth, trying to find the Sword of Cass along with you. And that he is traveling with several constructs, shield guardians, according to what Merrick's Decanath has determined. Each of them would be infused with a spell, likely a gift from a certain villain Trelial who has been behind this entire nonsense. But the mist clings to you, as I said. It roils and creeps along, not but the sound of your boots upon spongy nothingness beneath your feet, as you travel for 6 hours.
I don't know about you. It clings a little. It's kind of actually, I think it's good for my pores.
I do not like it, but I am used to it. It feels different this time.
The gray of the mists tends to make you think a lot. I don't like thinking this way.
Well, it's okay. It only hurts the first time.
Well, I can't think of a better companion to travel through these mists than you, Merrick Kenneth.
Perhaps you could give us a song to keep our spirits up.
You know, I was thinking of doing such a thing. The problem was I did not quite prepare it. Give me a moment. I'm sure Stinkbeard will have a story or two to tell in the meanwhile.
What sort of story are you interested in?
A carriage that we could throw each other under, perhaps. Proverbially. Always so dour and serious in these places, at least.
Do you not know where we are going?
I don't know. I mean, well, yes.
We're in Ravenloft. We're going to a dirtier corner of Ravenloft.
Yes.
Yes, but especially you. I can't even imagine trying to sing in such a time.
I'm more concerned about Melf.
Wait.
Bright Flame?
Melf seems to have melded into the mist, and as you say his name, you just hear the faint fiddle of a violin and a howl.
Oh.
Melf?
No.
Where did he go?
Well, I'd like to believe that Hark and Lucas might have just wanted to put him on stage. Maybe there's a command performance, a royalty, some agency sort of business. That's really all it was.
I told that elf. You need to walk exactly in these correct steps. You follow me exactly as I guide you all through the mist. This is why...
How do these dreadlords work?
How do
they just summon you through the mist at any point?
Well, they can entrap you for sure. They cannot leave. And then they can stay, they can tell you that you cannot leave. They are so oppressed by the realm in which they are stuck that they are trying to, this is a little bit of Elise psychology here, they are trying to entrap others into their own dread, into their own punishment. They are being punished, you see.
Okay, so what we're saying is that misery loves company, and that we're hoping he just got pulled back there because Harkin wants to kill him, and not he got pulled back there because he's going to become Melf, the malevolent Dark Lord.
He killed Harkin Lucas, though. Is that when the Dread Realm, when the Dreadlord gets killed, they reconstitute?
Eventually, yes, because they could never escape their punishment.
But on the other hand, the realm may want the Dark Lord. Melf may be performing.
Melf, I feel, is the, out of all of us, the least likely to become a Dark Lord. He is...
All the better a prize.
Aside from the fact that he does not follow my rules, which is do not just murder in these realms, do not just act upon your instincts to eliminate evil, because evil is different here.
Where we are going, if this realm is from Imaria, and the Dreadlord is who I think it could be, I will kill him.
And he'll be back tomorrow. Is there anything we can do about that?
There has to be a way to end a realm like this. We can't have these Otherians breeding in the mists.
The entire point of these places is to create a prison for the Dark Lord.
Okay.
The mists keep them there. You can kill. He will come back.
So
he is imprisoned there.
Elise, would you like to make a history check?
Yes, I will.
You can have advantage because you're relevant knowledge.
So the Dark Lords are not malevolent. They're benevolent as they take evil and put them into these prisons.
Dark powers.
The Dark Powers. Forgive me.
Perhaps.
It sounds to me like the dragons from Imaria.
But also, I don't remember... I thought the whole issue we're dealing here was this guy Beck, or whatever his name is, who did escape the
Vecna?
This place. Oh yeah, Vecna, that guy. Whatever.
What did you get?
13. I'm starting off good.
I mean, yeah. So thinking back, as well as what Firon said, among other things, there are only two known escapees. Dark Lords have escaped. One, of course, famous or infamous, depending how you look at it, Vecna. There's three who have escaped. Two, Lord Soth.
Yes.
He escaped because he refused to be punished. He sat still and did nothing, and he bored the Dark Power so much they sent him back to Krynn. The third is Azalin Rex, a lich from Oerth, who very recently seems to have vanished from Darkon. No one knows how or why or what's going on with that. His world is being consumed by the mists. But there currently going on in Darkon is a war of succession where other people are trying to become the Dark Lord, and if one were to become that, it would, the realm would sort of rebalance itself and continue forward. And there have been stories of certain Dread Realms where their Dark Lord was killed by a denizen or someone else, and they have not come back, and instead that person became
Yes,
the
if they're
Dark Lord.
very, very evil.
Not necessarily, it's more if the dark powers find it deliciously ironic or more fitting for that individual to now take on the suffering.
Now, the way I calculate this, if what you're saying is right, what that means is if you want this guy dead, kid, we got to find a local to actually do the job. We need to find someone to take his place, because that's the only way they'll let him die.
I've noticed that even in Barovia, there are people such as, or even Lemuria, there are people such as yourself that are also stuck or could be stuck.
Well, I was stuck because I was also
But we could find someone.
not the best person.
There must be a champion. We'll find one.
Perhaps the problem is that if you do it, and you let that anger take over, and this is what I was trying to tell Melf before, if you let that anger take over, if you succumb to the darkness that is presented to you here, you could become entrapped. And maybe I will not be able to walk you through the mists back out. And that is my concern.
A worthy sacrifice if it could end the Otherian reign for good.
But would it?
We'll cross that bridge when the time comes.
The air becomes stale and suffocating to you as you continue forward in the mist. The softness of the nothing beneath you becomes solid ground, dried grass.
Keep in mind, so long as we stay together, fear shall not take us.
Small yellow strands of withered and diseased plants begin to appear beneath your feet, and an unidentifiable stench lingers in a subtle breeze. The land around you becomes bathed in a pale green glow from a sun that shines in a gray sky, wreathed in a sick emerald, almost radioactive type kind of glow of this pale green orb in the sky. There is only one word if we were to boil everything that you see before you down, and it would be sickness. Everywhere you look, sickness stalks the streets, clad in green and orange. The gate to a rotting city lies before you, the grass around it just as withered and diseased as those you trod on your way in. Atop the gate, emerald-armored guards scowl over the crowds that meander through the mud and stone-packed entryway. The soldiers stand on every ledge, in every alcove, along every parapet, keeping vigilant over all the drudging commoners beneath them. Behind their helms are nothing more than snarls of vice and viciousness, as if they were nothing but bitterness and malice clad in flesh. There is sickness that dwells in the mold-crusted alleyways that you see, where figures lie in the muck-strewn shadows, either dead or dozing some brew, or perhaps lingering in the final stages of rotting disease. Either way, no one seems to care as the masses walk by without a second glance. There is sickness that glimmers in the verdant blades the soldiers wield, needlessly unsheathed as they patrol the corners and byways. It feels as though the whole city pulses with this sickly heartbeat, like invisible veins drenched in toxins, and that sizzles against your skin. There is sickness that lurks in the black, blue, and green bags under everyone's eyes as they skulk along, expressions downcast and their hoods lifted to shield them from the pale green sun. The city seems to operate like many you have visited before. Children cling to their mothers' skirts, merchants trade with buyers, laborers toil on the stone walls and scaffolding, performers and artists ply their boisterous trade in the squares, dancing, singing, and tossing colored scarves to snag a wayward eye. But when you pause for but a half a breath, You see the flatness in the children's eyes, like what one sees in the eyes of dogs beaten and caged all their lives. You see the merchants passing over rotting food for stamped papers, and hagglers holding knives behind their backs. The laborers more often wear chains around their ankles, wrists, and necks and work under the unblinking watch of taskmasters. And the performers make bloody tapestries of themselves, mutilating their bodies with hooks and knives, the applause of a crowd hungry for any spectacle, no matter how horrific. The sickness makes itself heard in the rattling coughs of those who toil in the ditches and on the heights of the city's ebonstone structures. Every street seems to have a massive construction in progress, with half-naked workers teeming over each structure, carving a bald-headed, sneering visage into unliving stone and etching the laws of his word into every flat surface. Posters adorn every wall within sight with a portrait of the same man and the words, "Our great leader." And the stench, that unidentifiable stink, becomes palpable.
Lohot grabs hold of the elbow of Merrick's and he leans in and he says, "Rally," as Melf goes out on his own. He looks at Elminster. "Rally, heed me in this tone." He looks over at Elise. "Rally as we tread through this zone, oh no." And then he looks further out into the street. "Rally, we stay true, we'll not be alone. As the sickness comes, I've got to tread on. And as we walk forward in this city street, we've got to press on. Remember every time our spirits fault, oh no. We shall adorn our spirits bright and win this day true." All right, there's your song to Kenneth. Use it inspirationally, as this place was once my home.
Off in the distance, you see a tall tower with a crumbling airship still clinging to its side like a pustuling growth.
This place is sick.
Ah!
I point at one of the posters of the man, and is this him?
Emperor Bravenska.
The one you point at currently has been defaced with the image of a skull.
Oh,
And you see a couple of soldiers currently, who rip it off and plaster up. Not a poster of the same man, but this time of the Weavebreaker you've been chasing over top of it, placing it. But not as our great leader, just more of our prophet.
Mm.
The bald-headed statue is Emperor Bravenska. You would remember him from our travels in Imaria, in the vestige realms of the Vale. You weren't there at the time. He was the one that haunted my dreams in the Nightmare Realm.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you some basic tactical information here, kid?
Give it.
Your Majesty. This is, I see a lot of green here. So just remind us, obviously using magic in battle is going to be largely inefficient. Can they also detect magic? So my main question here is, for example, using illusion to cloak our appearance. Is that an option we have, or is that going to be detected?
There was only one wielder of mana on Imaria that was able to hide the detection of the use of magic with some other form of quad dimension. It was Caliban, our wizard. Mm-hmm. He created some spells that you might be able to pull from the weave to hide illusions. However, so long as they have their hands on the Renix steel, they have the ability to detect magic the way you would be able to detect the strands of Mystara on Faerun. It is innate. We cannot hide.
Well, I mean, an 8's not a very good roll.
An 8 is definitely not a very good roll. But with your flash of genius, an 8 would be just sufficient.
That is true.
However, it's very hard to remain dour. What you have Bilson's folly over here. Listen, your abilities to press your magic through will be very difficult. We must resort to things more mechanical, tactical in some cases. There are ways for your magic to be useful.
Magic items?
Depends on what we're facing. Sometimes their swords can be overcharged, like any battery. If you put enough energy into it, it will decrepit them and destroy them. So if their blades are aglow, very bright, there is a chance that you could fool them by casting very powerful magic and tricking them to absorb it. It'll result in their death, or close to it.
They will just absorb all magic. All magic?
If they are very intelligent, which I don't believe these ones are, they will know how to avoid it, but it'll be that or disintegration.
So, we've faced him in battle before. I'm aware of that. I'm more sort of worried at the moment about just even walking up there. I mean,
Oh, my presence here will be...
Exactly. So how are we dealing with that?
I don't know
Do we
yet.
need, even though it was only a moment ago, it feels like it's been months. And I cannot remember. I know that we had an issue with my backpack because of the bagman, and it had to be sort of shunted and shut down. I can't remember if I was able to restore it to functioning as just a bag of holding, or if
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We
Yeah,
have not
I think
been
it's
opening them.
just a bag.
Right. So the point is, unfortunately, I do not have a bag full of disguises, which would be my normal answer to this situation.
You'll be fine here.
Magic.
Well, you belong here. But I mean, you will fit in here. There are things that I shouldn't do. Like, I should probably get rid of the blue and the gold with the Linvander sash, and I should not bring out Amberfang if I can help it. Oh, yeah, I'm in trouble. I'll need something to adopt my eyes of disguise. Oh.
You're not actually going to want to do that because they are a prescription.
Oh,
But-
yes, I noticed that.
But the principle of it.
I can see clearly now that my eyes are gone.
So Lowell's just going to have the blinded condition the entire
Perhaps,
time.
Probably has the bloody condition right
and you
now.
will only hear me say this one time.
But I could give him my dog.
I think giving him reflective lenses is fine.
Lord, I will never say these words again. I think it's time for you to remove your crown.
It's canon law now, as you see.
No.
That's just
It's just for disguise.
I didn't realize you
small
were so
crown marked on my
invested in your
forehead.
crown elites.
Of course.
Yes, okay, good.
Yeah, I've been hearing you say it so much.
Now, I do
sure.
have a handy haversack. All of this stuff can go somewhere.
Look at me with my handy haversack. My
Does
handy
it-
haversack doesn't get haunted by bagmen. Ooh.
But if you open your bag, then the bagman can go into your bag. Is that
He's sealed off his bag.
so? So there's no danger there. I think we were all scared to open any bags of dimensional space.
I'll keep Aberfang wreathed in my cloak.
I mean, I'm going to assume you all have like packs that you can
Yes.
just put stuff in.
Oh,
Look, I have other clothes. We can make you Vistani.
To be honest,
Oh.
let me say this. I do not look as I looked when I fought the Emperor.
Your hair is much, it's
Grayer.
longer, it's wavier.
Yeah.
If you look, it's good.
What I'm saying is that they may not recognize me so long as the basics are covered.
How many years has this been?
My basics.
Gosh.
Since the Empire?
Since the fight with the Empire, I mean, Loho was in his 20s when it happened, and he's in his 40s, almost 50s now.
Yeah.
So
It's-
it's been 30 years since I've had this issue. So there's a good chance that they won't recognize me at all.
It's mainly the eyes that
Yeah.
would be,
Just
and
did math.
Amberfang as well would be the problem. So those are the two big signifiers.
Okay, 25 to 45.
Yeah.
30 years. Yeah, I just did
He
math.
just did math.
Intelligence is my dump stat, you know. Yeah.
He's just he's
And I can obscure us a little bit by just puffing on the ever-smoking pipe. You're just be... Just
We
smoke.
have to do that in private, not out on the street.
Don't use magic overtly here. They probably are looking to... The entire empire was to oppress magic as much as possible. Everybody here hasn't had the chance to grow like they dressed in Chrymaris. Chrymaris has had 30 years, give or take. 30 years to have the warlords die off and change the ideology. It's not a lot of time, but Chrymaris has seen growth from oppressing of a particular type of user. Now that has probably not happened here. If anything, the time that it has been stuck in this dread realm has likely made it worse.
If I remember correctly, when we ran into the Weave Breaker and saw this, or heard about what it could do, there were certain types of magic that the Weave Breaker could break, and certain types not break. Is that still the case?
The Weave Breaker cannot deal with psionics, so that will be your main tool.
Mm-hmm.
The Weave Breaker cannot deal with actual weaponry, trickery. So how rogues tend to get past. This is how the Diamond Skull were able to fight them. And they cannot deal with chronomancy, as it is a construct, not use of the weave. So some of my limited time abilities should be able to get us through a few things here. But for mana, and for those specifically through your own spirit and soul, they can disrupt it. Any weave use.
Even if I tap into the divine.
The divine is a use of the weave, just it's how you channel it.
I mean, I'm just planning to basically take the next couple days off. I mean, I'm coming along, but I mean, I'm just going to provide color commentary. Yeah, give it 110% there. Oh, swinging that axe, yes.
Do you have the ability to perhaps build contraptions that could help with disarming? If they lose their blades and no longer have
Good
access to Renic steel, they cannot disrupt the weave.
All right.
So
Put my mind
perhaps
to it.
we could use our weaponry to disarm them, and when they are disarmed, then use magic to finish them off. It is a tactic we used to use by removing their swords. Even psionics to undo the belts so their swords drop before they have a chance to don or draw them. If we catch the drop on them and they're not holding their blades, provided they're not infiltrators who use rings and other mechanisms.
Just as long as we're talking about items being lost, is that like, is your curse magic?
Ooh.
My curse is magic.
They would have to see you doing it.
Right.
Yeah, they have to be able to know that you're doing something. So subtle casting is a possibility as well.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, you're good at getting people to drop things.
If the Emperor is in fact the Emperor and has his weaponry, the sword,
Yep.
or anything of that nature,
Yep.
he has extensive powers of invulnerability to mana.
Watch this, Merix.
They do.
Look at these cards. Look, I'm going to play a card game with you.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how I've done this. Did I just cast a spell or no?
Oh, definitely not.
Did I just cast a spell or no?
That's like asking your age to guess your age. I don't know what the trick is.
The
You look
trick
25.
is that because of my ability with my ability to read my cards, I am also able to do certain spells that only require my hands on the sly.
Good. Just play a game of chess with them. We need to outthink them. We can't just brute force our way through, and a meteor swarm will not work this time. There are too many of them.
I think it's also worth mentioning that the longer you have kind of remained here, making your plan of action, you've slowly begun to just feel like dry.
Yeah.
Like it's these little that suffocating air is getting more and more suffocating. It's not like on Athas where it was just heat and a lack of moisture. This is more like it almost feels like your life force is kind of shriveling and like retaining into your body, almost like retreating deeper inside you away from the surface of your flesh.
Is this because things are made from Renical around us, the green buildings and
Is it
stuff like
withering?
that?
It seems more like just the air itself is just like the land is
It's
so
just-
badly withered and damaged that like you look down, you see the grass is struggling to even grow. Like life and magic and mana is just so stamped out.
But it's not sucking magic from us.
No.
Okay. I have a question. Looking around at the children, the people, the everything, are other people armed here?
The only people who are well armed are the soldiers, all with an orange sash with a golden number designed on them, all of them wielding a glowing green blade that is not in its sheath, is out and at the ready. Outside of that, you do see a couple of merchants who do seem to have like knives, shivs, dirks, and you see a few hunters, maybe those who kind of go out and scavenge around, who do seem to have short swords, but you don't see anything longer than a short blade outside of the military.
Right. So walking in with my hot stuff on my back.
Might draw attention.
Even in the old day, if this is a snap picture
Yes.
of the war where the Empire fell, there must be, and these people were taken into this dread realm. There is also resistance.
That's what I was going to say.
And on Athas, we encountered resistances to the liches.
So I was wanting to try and make an investigation check, if that would be for exactly that, of basically just saying, as far as we can see, we've seen the sign being taken down, but that seems like, oh, it's just, here's a new hero. But yeah, just studying the people and the places, can we see any signs
Give
of...
me an investigation.
As you're making the investigation roll,
Yeah.
Lahot wants to try and help, if you can.
Sure.
And the way he's going to help is he's going to say, you remember in Imaria, there was the Diamond Skull.
Yes.
They are the #1 resistance faction. Them and the Silver Sword. Silver Sword are probably too pious and not necessarily the kind of folk that would hide and skulk. They will try to use their own self-righteousness to fight it, thinking that their skill in battle will win out the day. Arrogant bitches. But for you...
Wow.
But for you...
How do you really feel?
For the Diamond Skull, they skulk. They're secret, and they don't want to be found.
Right.
Now, I believe the skull on that poster that was ripped down
Was the Diamond Skull.
was a marking that they are here.
Right.
I'm not familiar with skull sign in any way to help you figure this out, but
Even just the point of, do we see, do I see anything that,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
kind of could be a
So you
secret
can have-
sign.
I'll give you a point of inspiration for that. So
Cool.
you can add a D8 to the roll if you need it. But for now, you'll hold it.
Want to help me look?
You can have a- yeah, you
I'm
can-
just saying somebody,
yeah, yeah.
somebody
I can
could give
I
to
can
give that.
definitely help you
You have
look.
advantage.
All right. Yeah. So what was your D8?
You can roll it.
Oh.
You can add it to your roll if you wish. You can keep it for 10 minutes too.
I think I might keep it for 10 minutes because I rolled a natural 18, which means I have a
77.
yeah, 92. No, it's a 30. It's a 39 though.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't even break
If
100.
the 40 is going to make a difference, I can use the.
All of the signs are there. You see in some of the lower areas, some of the people lying in the gutters are a little too still or a little too moved. Like it's almost as if it's a bit of an act.
Mm-hmm.
They're not quite. They're lying in a way that they seem to have a very good view of everything that's going on. You see some of the people at the market stalls who are they don't really seem to be selling much, and yet they're still here. People are kind of walking past them. They don't seem to care. They're not trying to draw buyers. They're just sort of standing there pleasantly smiling, looking back and forth. You see that there are other posters, other symbols of the regime that have had the graffiti placed upon them, and you see soldiers ripping them down.
right.
But wherever they do rip down any of these graffiti, they don't replace them with the same poster. They replace them with this new Our Prophet poster of the Weavebreaker you've been chasing through the mists.
That's
That part
interesting.
is
Good to know.
interesting.
That's very interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what that.
So, speaking, of course, through our tattoos, so we're not having this conversation.
Oh yeah.
I assume you're doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'll draw attention to those 2 points: the people lying down, but also the merchants who seem somewhat suspicious.
And obviously there are street urchins that seem a little too knowledgeable on the alleys and the streets. And
So you're still both Mr. Charisma and the local boy. So I'm sort of pointing out these people to you,
But you tell us
Yeah,
like
between
what you're
everybody.
observing and about. You tell us about the skull. What are they called?
The Diamond Skull.
The diamond skull. So I will say, Merix, you are not a stranger to ego.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Imagine.
Ever the diplomat.
That is what it says on the back cover of my biography.
No stranger to ego.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab everyone. As she's saying this.
Ostentatious, Alpha Fiero.
As she's saying this to Merrick, though, I am going to like usher everyone into an alleyway.
Sure.
I want
Okay.
to get out of sight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a man coughing in the side. Go. But otherwise, it's
Imagine,
Die quietly.
if you will, you are the leader, the great emperor of a place, and then some random person comes in and suddenly your face on the side of your buildings and gets replaced, and all of the people start saying that he is better than you. Maybe this is something we can work with, and I know that this is, I don't know this guy, this emperor, but perhaps he is not so happy about being replaced so easily.
If his
Yeah, I would
ego,
think so.
if his ego is as in check, he'll have this Eltherian hanged at the Tree of Perdition.
But the Otherian was bringing him.
Yes.
Yeah. Just
Okay, before we go any further, friends, what is our objective here?
Well, there's a multiple. We have a few ways to do this. The first way, I could just simply summon Banquo, don the blade, and fly into the sky and cause all havoc. That would probably be the quickest way to get the Emperor here.
Oh, okay,
So we'll probably have to fight the entire army at the same
we're
time.
trying to get the.
We don't know. The second path is locate some skulkers, see if we can locate the resistance, and then team up with them and give them the leadership they need. Then they can do the provided distraction necessary for us to go to the tower to take the Emperor. If I am right in my memory, that tower,
You look up at the tower with the airship still pulsating like a tumor on the side of it.
that airship is called the Adelphia. It is the ship that we scotched from the Tower of Pereth, from the mountain of Pereth. That was crashed by the greatest of chronomancers that I remember, Corinth. He is the one who taught me and brought me to my destiny. He died that day, crashing the airship into the tower, but none of the airship or the tower collapsed to the ground. I fell from that tower moments before the airship crashed.
just
Okay, quickly, one thing. The guy who's coughing, how close is he to us?
I'd say he's probably about 25 feet away.
Okay, I'm detecting thoughts psionically
Ooh.
on him.
Ooh.
Because I want to know if he's listening in, if he's a part of the resistance, if they're, a spy for.
You don't get a lot of, oh, I feel miserable, oh, woe is me.
Mm.
It's the surface thoughts are more, they're too far away. I can't.
Oh, good. That's the other thing I was trying to find out. How much is he listening in on? As we okay,
I assume you guys,
Right.
between your tattoos and like
Oh, yeah.
whispered hushes and
Do you
like,
tell us that he's trying to listen in?
Yeah, and through the tattoos.
I have two ideas.
yes.
Two thoughts come to mind based on our discussion in the last few minutes walking through town. The first is there a code phrase or a battle song of the resistance from your time and your place that if just hum...
You hear the people
I knew
sing.
you were
Oh,
going
just
to.
kidding.
No, I knew you were going there. But no, if you hummed under your breath while we were shopping, that somebody may recognize, but that the soldiers would not recognize.
Yes, but what were you going to say? And you told us that this
Right.
is
So-
good.
What I was going to say is I just want to come back again to our goal here.
Yeah.
We came here because the Weave Breaker was coming here. So our enemy is Carlisle. And he's the guy who's going to destroy the universe. And we were chasing the Weave Breaker, and we basically said this is our chance to get ahead of him, to try and deal with him instead of having him behind us.
That is what my second thing is. It goes right in line with you, which is this. The Weave Breaker has been tracking us. The Weave Breaker has a way to follow us and get ahead of us.
Right.
But what if we combine the idea of having some poor sap, some
Right.
other local taking the place of the Emperor we kill the Emperor and the Weavebreaker takes his place as the Dark Lord and is then stuck here. He cannot do anything when we go other places.
I completely agree, and I approve of that. I think that's a great idea. My question is, why is he here? Like, it's, again, been only a minute, but memory phase, why do we think he came here? Like,
Your
here?
primary belief was that he was coming here to recruit a army of Weavebreakers to then take and basically give you no chance at
So
success.
they are.
if we can make him
Stop.
become the Dark Lord, then he couldn't leave.
So that's right. That means that this new Weavebreaker is trying to get people out of the mists, and Bravenska will either want to go with him or will be opposed to him. If Bravenska is to go with him, he'll kill the Weavebreaker the moment he gets out and take back control of the Empire. And if Bravenska gets back on Imaria, we're all in trouble.
But I think you're on the right track. I think that if the Weavebreaker kills Bravenska, then he'll be trapped here, and
The mists
down.
will not allow him to go. So Bravenska will not be allowed,
Right,
generally
I'm not about that.
speaking,
Agreed.
will not be allowed to go. Now, if he's killed and stays dead and the Weavebreaker
exactly.
takes his place, which it looks like this is
We're in
what
the
the
right direction.
community is liking, and then maybe the dark powers, believe would be a good course of action. We could trap the Weavebreaker here. We could go on our way and not be followed anymore.
Well, I'm just saying, hit me. You want to see if the card's got anything?
We can try.
While you're doing the shuffle, you tell us that person is,
Trying to listen in on it.
so they're not.
As sick as they seem.
Is there a way to determine if they are part of the resistance or if they're a spy for the Empire? Because that's the other thing we must take in consideration. There is one way to find out.
Cut. This is your...
Over and ask them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, well, I could just show Amberfang, and that would determine one way or another.
Sure, why not?
But let's get the reading
Keep
first.
your mind reading going. He shows the sword.
All right.
We see what he thinks.
Hold up these cards and let's redo a reading.
the first card, we have gotten safe travel, which is, this is a safe way to go. It is positive that this answer is, what we would say is a positive response. If I was seeking, let's say, through augury, this would be the positive. This is safe. This is a
wheel.
safe, exactly, response. It's a safe choice. And so the next one, which is what it will bring, is what is happening now in this, because it's a question of should we do this or do we think this is the right way? Equilibrium, a balance. So if we are wanting to balance what is here, removing the Emperor, replacing with the Weavebreaker, perhaps, I don't know, but it is saying that this is a way of safety and balance. Unfortunately, the way to get there, what we need to do, I did draw, which was my question, the divine guidance. It is inversed, which means that I don't think that my power that comes from divine magic, is going to help much. Whether that is the magic itself, like you say, I cannot use my magic around them, they will, or if maybe my reading is not good, because my guidance is not to be trusted.
I'm going to subtly put my hand out by my side and just wiggle it a little bit to try and get the attention of the homeless person. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to make a very bad attempt at what I used to see Gabriel do to Umbrari when they would do skull sign to each other. And I'm going to try and do it's probably going to be like triangulate or something stupid, but I'm going to try and do a sign with my hand by performing and mimicking it.
Give me a performance check.
Oh, that's a tough one.
This is like a secret code through hand.
25.
Okay. You saw him do it a fair bit. Your memory serves well. And as you do it, you kind of see his eyes go a little wide. He kind of looks back and forth. he coughs in a certain rhythm to it that means nothing to you.
Yeah,
But it
but
sounds like a signal.
It certainly could be some sort of additional sign,
okay.
perhaps,
so
but
step
as you
2.
don't understand skull sign, it means nothing.
So separate then. At this point, I'm going to look at the. I say in the tattoo, I believe this is a sympathizer. Hold on. No,
Hold on.
a rebel.
a rebel, not a sympathizer. This is a rebel. This is a rebel. And I'll turn and I'll just unstring the cloak a little and let the glow of Amberfang pop out.
Well, if his eyes could go any wider, they would. They're almost the size of small saucers. And he like immediately, like it kind of, all facade is dropped as he looks back and forth.
I will tie up the sword right away, hide the sword right away, and then turn and
he
look with
jumps
my
and
eyes.
kneels before you. My lord!
No. Get up. No, we do not have any money for you.
I'll put my hand on him and I'll use my divine powers to remove the disease for the time being.
Okay, but he was actually diseased.
Yeah, with divine with lay on hands.
Your blessing is well received, Your Majesty. Your return is it's just the sign we needed.
In the tattoo, this does not go to any of your heads.
No, yeah.
Don't get the wrong impression.
See, yep.
Hands of the king.
Your Majesty.
Healing
Is it-
hands of the king.
We all know the Return of the King was the worst of the 3.
Oh,
No,
Are you have come. Of course, it makes sense. The turn of the tide. Of course you would be here. Yes. This is
what can you tell us about what's happening here?
a few days ago. Everything was normal as it always has been. But this new Iltharian showed up. He had an army of mechanized men. He came here wielding the blade of the Emperor. And
The Emperor's blade here.
he foretold of, at least to the inner circle, is what we understand, of a way for him and the high-ranking Iltharian officers to finally escape this dying world. He was going to take them out for conquest beyond these walls. The Emperor, of course, was very displeased with this fascination they had with him, and so he has committed a coup d'etat and has taken command, but refuses to allow anyone to call him a commander. He is the prophet. And the Emperor has been thrown into a cage on display in the town square and under heavy guard.
I like a good prophet. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
No?
you want to turn a prophet here?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
According to what we do not understand these actions, they make no sense to us, but from what we can understand, he's just biding his time now. For all we can tell, he and his followers are ready to leave, but they won't.
In the tattoo, I'll say, they can't escape the mists without the Emperor opening them, right?
That is correct.
So that's why they're putting him on display. They can't kill him, and they can't... This Weedbreaker is being controlled by Trelyle. Trelyle knows the magics of these places. He would know how to get through all this.
Yeah, he's read the Book of Vile Darkness.
He knows how to... So there's something happening to make this... The Braven Scar's on display for a reason.
Would this reason be a lure for us? If he knows we're...
it could be, but it also could be that out of desperation to get out.
Diamond Skull is intending to launch an assassination attempt against the Emperor tonight.
Insight on
Very,
this guy.
Yeah, go
Is he
for it.
real or is he just bullshit? 11 plus my insight plus the D4 thanks to a previous campaign. So 2, so 13, and so 27.
He is looking at you with a look of bewildering adoration. He is absolutely... it is as if new life has been breathed into him, and he has finally taken a breath of fresh air after being underwater for hours.
pressure change is going to kill that guy.
Right? His eyes are gonna pop.
You are under the impression that this man would follow you into death.
All right.
Oh dear.
That's cute. That's cute.
Who's in charge of the resistance here?
It's been leaderless for some time, but there was a newcomer several years ago who arrived, and he's taken control of the Diamond Skull. Calls himself Tharius.
Do you know this?
Lohel wouldn't say that. The Keymaster would say something about that. I see. I've never heard of this Tharius.
He has been keeping the Diamond Skull well under control. We've actually been able to make gain some decent ground before this new guy showed up. And then, of course, there's the Aeon Sage, who occasionally will flit in and out, but can't seem to get eyes on him.
That would be Corinth.
All right.
Okay. How many are in the resistance?
Too few. Handful of people, a little under a dozen actual proper fighters, and about 24 more
You
that
all like
willing to
this,
fight.
but you cannot assassinate the Emperor.
That is what the Aeon Sage has been trying to advise Tharius, but, well, if you knew him, you'd understand.
Can you take us to him?
Of course. It might be uncomfortable.
Well, I think we haven't had happen to us before.
Very well. He looks down as a group of knights run past, whipping several chained individuals and yelling at them. All right. He leans down where you see there's a sewer grate, and he just sort of like pulls it back, and the stench becomes almost visible.
Ugh.
Down there.
Turned off my nostrils, like, you know, I mean, when we first came to this place.
You
Like,
can turn off your nostrils?
Oh, yeah.
Presumably you can.
I don't think it would bother. I mean, I can smell, but I can't.
You could probably just choose to not breathe through your nose. And
I don't breathe.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
I just, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, when you breathe through your mouth, your taste buds
Well,
still
see, that's
taste.
the thing, yeah.
And
It's,
tasting stench is much worse than smelling stench.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Should we speak to the Starius? If they
Yeah, sure.
assassinate the Emperor, and the Emperor dies the same way Melf killed Harkin,
Right.
the mists open.
Right.
This might be the way they get out. However, why wouldn't this new Eltherian just do that to open up the mists? Unless they're aware that by killing the Emperor, he would become the new Dark Lord.
Yeah.
But then he can open the mists to let the Eltherians out whenever he wants.
But he can't get out.
Something
But he
doesn't make
can't leave.
sense.
But
He could let them out.
But this would be the ultimate breeding ground. Eltherians in
All right.
abundance, mists opening up. He
Okay.
could just send a package back to Imaria.
All right, break this down. I need 3 questions that you can answer yes or no. That we need the answer to.
I was like, I need 30 questions. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, if we were to break this into 3 questions, if we could know about
Do you
his
like
plan.
cats? No.
I'm just saying.
Do you like mushrooms? No.
Well, no. Let's. What we're looking for is we're trying to say in 3 questions what would give us the information we would like to know about the Weedmaker's plan. Like, does he not want to kill the Emperor?
Will killing the Emperor folly or Wheel of Woe the plan would be one. How to kill the Emperor would be another one.
are you talking about the
It has
Weedbreaker's
to be
plan?
yes or no.
Yes, we answer.
No.
The Weedbreaker's plan or your plan?
We don't know. We're trying to
Well, I'm saying-
We'll
okay.
kill. The question is, will killing the Emperor
Help the Weed.
help?
the Weavebreaker.
Sure, it'll do for that. I'll do for now. Okay.
Oh,
I know. I think that's obvious. No, because he would just kill him.
You would think, yeah.
I think
right.
is will killing the Emperor help us?
But see, if killing the Emperor, this comes back to the point of, does he want the Emperor killed but doesn't want to do it himself? Because he doesn't want to become the Dark Lord.
Will he become a Dark Lord?
So why don't you just ask that question?
It has to be yes or no.
Oh, if this Eltherian kills the Emperor, will he become a Dark
Yes.
Lord?
Okay, good. That's a great question. Okay. Okay, second question.
If
If
we
I kill the Emperor, will I become the Dark Lord?
I think the answer to that is yes. Carry on.
well, if another
I mean,
no, here's the here. If another person, not the Weavebreaker,
Yes.
and not Lohold,
Yep.
kills the Emperor, will the Weavebreaker still become the Dark Lord?
Okay.
Like if he's killed, is the Weavebreaker bad enough
Right.
and now revered enough here?
Yep.
If I become the Dark
Yep.
Lord, would you come visit?
No.
No, we wouldn't call. Okay.
Never write, never call, forget you exist.
Okay,
It would be a great way
This will
Will you come
probably,
visit?
this will
We find
probably
out very
do for a start.
full
When you
of
think of the other
I
one
would come.
as we go.
I come.
I want to pull out my phone and I'd like to
Spell phone?
dial a commune
Yeah?
in here.
I'd like to.
So, I'm just
friend.
trying to get
your spell phone out?
yeah, tech support.
Yeah, that's right.
Hello?
So funny.
Yeah, you're. This assume commune,
Sigil.
contact other plane, or
Yeah,
whatever
it's
it might be.
commune, which is ask 3 yes or no questions.
Yes.
I'm assuming I'm somehow getting a signal out to Sigil and just trying to.
Yeah, well, we're in Ravenloft,
It
so
is a
good
little
question.
different.
someone picks up.
Well, all right.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Black spell phone. Hey,
It's coming from inside the mists.
yeah, the call is coming.
What,
from
no
inside.
inspiration for breaking you
You know
down?
what? Yeah, you can have inspiration for that. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. There, you do indeed establish contact with an entity that knows quite a lot about the mists.
Well, I'm gonna ask my question. I'm here in Imperius, and we're in the situation where we'd like to know if the Eltherian known as the Prophet were to kill the Emperor, would he end up becoming the Dark Lord?
Yes.
If someone else were to kill the Emperor, would the Prophet end up becoming the Dark Lord?
Can I answer with it depends, or just a yes or no? I'm
Technically, it's a yes or no.
gonna say no.
Okay. Third question.
It depends.
Right. Third question. Oh, okay. If someone
here.
now, so we've got one more question.
Before you ask it, let's deliberate.
Right. We don't have presumably too much time, but yeah.
Please hold.
So please hold. What's the whole music?
Oh, it's got to be. Well, we know what your ringtone is.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So yeah, we think probably if you were to kill the Emperor, you become the Dark Lord. That messes that all up. But maybe if it were one of other specifics.
If the Emperor were to die by assassination from the rebellion, would the mists open and allow this Emperor, or this prophet, and their army to escape?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
So they want the assassination.
So he's put him out there because he wants him to be killed by the rebellion.
We must go speak to the Tharius, and whether by influence or by force, we cannot allow this assassination to happen. The Dark Lord wants this.
All right. Well, I gotta hang up here because I'm like getting the charges per minute are ridiculous. So, and that was my third question.
Yes,
anyway.
yes.
So,
Well done, Merrick's.
I mean,
It's not every day you get. It's not every day you get to commune with the dark powers themselves.
Should we go? We should go.
Yeah, we should definitely
Yes,
go.
absolutely.
So
Especially
job
if it's
is-
happening in a few hours.
I'm gonna look with the magnetically white eyes to the person. Like, is this the inspiration of inspirations being like?
'Cause you're, like, lowering the goggles.
Take us to Tharius immediately.
At once, Your Majesty.
So okay, what we've got here, breaking this down, is
As you
it would be
delve
great
into the sewers,
if we could get him to kill the Emperor. It would be terrible if the Diamond Skull kills the Emperor.
Yes, but here's the thing, and this is where now I know my reading is correct. The divine guidance saying no, maybe what I was saying was wrong, has just been confirmed, because if the prophet becomes the emperor, no, he cannot leave. But he can let everybody else leave.
But would they find their way without him? You know, are they all going to get to
If any of these Eltherians get back to Imaria,
Yeah.
and they proclaim that the Emperor was alive,
Mhm.
and that not all was lost in the Battle of Talonat, that
Oh,
will
the Battle of Talonat, of
resurge.
course.
They will resurge the entire Eltherian old thought. They will come back, and that way of thinking will give birth to a whole new empire.
Well, then we're back to square one of what is our actual goal here.
Well, we need to keep the emperor alive.
Yeah, that's an easy step.
We need to-
the dripping of water surrounds you as you descend
We
down
need-
into the sewers.
to convince the Emperor not to let the Eltharians out.
Okay.
I don't know
I
how.
believe this should go back on for this encounter.
Very good.
The resistance would need to see this.
I agree. Well, now that we are in the sewer, yes.
Okay, but now your hair's kind of poofing over
I know.
it.
No, it looks
Definitely
good.
doesn't
Looks
look
good.
quite
It
as
looks
great.
good.
Working on it. I'm
All right,
working
all
on it over here.
The slink leads you through the darkened, dripping, moist, damp tunnels of the sewers. Every now and again, passing by a certain brick that he kind of just regards, and you don't see anything about this brick, but you presume there's some kind of mild scratch or indentation or something that's fairly nondescript, but is a marking point as he leads you through tunnels, weaving, wending, winding, until eventually you are opened into a chamber with gathered folk, sick, emaciated, but armed somewhat, with a striking orange-clad man, slightly pointed ears, a straggly beard and slick-back hair. Looks like he might have been run over by a cart once or twice in his lifetime, as he turns around to regard you in the next session.